be as easy as that.
You can imagine.
Okay, tell us more, tell us more. So what's behind the scenes that perhaps we need to understand about this process?
Okay, in an ideal setup, we will say that someone who is interested to foster a child has to go to the nearest sub-county children office. Simply because in every county in this country, or every sub-county, there is a sub-county children officer, whereby you'll be able to get an application form so that you clearly indicate your interest of wanting to become a foster parent. The sub-county children officer will take you through what it entails being a foster parent, and therefore at the end of it all an assessment is going to be done. An assessment that is done even involving a visit to your family, to your home, to be able to understand the environment of your family. After this step of assessment, we move towards a training, simply because a person who becomes a foster parent eventually has to be prepared to get to know that in foster care, you don't choose the kind of child that you are going to be placed with, but you need to be prepared to know that children come into foster care with a lot of baggage, with a lot of weight, because some of them have gone through difficult circumstances, and therefore they are either, some of them, traumatized and need some special way of also handling them. So you are trained on what are the legal framework that underpins foster care. At the same time, you are trained on the special needs that these children come with, but more so, we also want to understand what is your motivation, what drives you to want to offer this opportunity to a child. After this training, then you are going to be registered as the children, because there is a register at the sub-county children's officer's desk. On the other end, there is a child that is being identified, because a child who qualifies for foster care, for instance, the way Peter has said, you can either be an orphan, you can be an abandoned child, you can be a neglected child. For instance, even the children who are found in the streets qualify to be placed under foster care. Once they've been identified, a detailed assessment is done about these children to identify what are their real needs. Because not all children are supposed to be placed under foster care. Foster care is supposed to be like, you've been able to establish that it is the most suitable care option that will be able to adequately address the needs that have been identified for this child. After which, matching is done. So here you have a foster parent, a pool of foster parents that you've been able to recruit. On the other side, you have children who need to be placed. A matching is done where capacity of the foster parent is looked at and the needs of the child are looked at. Where we find a perfect fit, or sometimes it's not perfect, but where we see that the foster parent or family can adequately address the needs of the child, then they are placed together. A preparation process is, they're taken through a preparation process. A bonding, like an introductory session is also organized. A child visits the family maybe for a weekend, then goes back. You assess how has it gone. All that bonding means a lot to understand how the child is compatible within this new environment. However, just as Gladys puts it, it is a fulfilling experience and not so complicated.